Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with women's tennis coach Erin Ness, men's lacrosse captain Douthat, and women's lacrosse captain Taglienti. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. Baseball saw its season come to an end with a 5-4 loss to top seed Shenandoah in the ODAC tournament in Lynchburg. The Generals had beaten Hampton-Sydney 2-1 on opening night, and they also fell 8-3 to eventual champion Randolph-Macon. Men's lacrosse closed out the regular season with a 16-6 win at Randolph-Macon, and women's lacrosse beat Hollins 21-1. In women's track and field, Lizzie Stanton broke the school record in the pole vault at Radford's Highlander Invitational, and both tennis teams opened up ODAC tournament play with 5-0 quarterfinal victories. The men defeated Randolph while the women downed Shenandoah. Joining me in the studio is women's tennis coach Erin Ness. Erin, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me again, Jeremy.
W&L graduated a tremendous group of seniors last year, but you've remained competitive on a national level in 2016. 16-5 overall, currently ranked 15th in Division III. How pleased have you been with this season so far?
I think we've had a great year so far. We've exceeded expectations, and I know we took a lot of people by surprise in the country. All of our losses, if you look at them, are really 5-4, 6-3 losses to some of the best teams in the country, including, 8-time defending national championship Williams. So overall, we're very happy with the success we've had this year.
One of those 5-4 defeats was to Johns Hopkins. It was your only loss in the month of April. They're another top 15 program. Do you feel like W&L is playing its best tennis heading into the postseason?
I think we're playing well. Obviously, as a coach, I think we can play better, but going into the tournament, we have a lot of confidence right now, especially with the success we've had over the season, and so we're looking to continue that into the postseason play.
This is still a very young Washington and Lee team. Mary Elizabeth Shetley is your only senior. Brooke Donnelly is the only other upperclassman. With that in mind, what are your expectations for this program over the next few seasons?
My expectations are, we look to be a top 10 program perennially every single year. On top of this class that we have, we're returning almost everybody. I'm bringing in 6 new incoming freshmen for the following year. So I think really we're ideally in a few years, hopefully, competing for a national championship.
W&L will be hosting the ODAC semifinals and championship this weekend. What can the Generals accomplish in this postseason?
I think if we just go out there, compete hard, play our best, and stay focused, hopefully we'll be able to hoist the conference title on our own courts this year, which we're excited to finally be hosting, and looking forward to carrying that momentum into the NCAA tournament.
Erin, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks again for having me.
With me now is Douthat, senior lacrosse captain from Roanoke. Will, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
W&L finished the regular season 13-3 overall. You tied for first in the ODAC with an 8-1 conference record. How pleased have you been with this spring?
So I've been very pleased with our team so far. Of course, we wish we would have won those games, but we were able to learn from our mistakes and those losses to get better as a team. And we're excited to see how we do this next weekend.
You play short stick defensive midfield. The Generals are the top team in the ODAC in goals against average by a very large margin. What's contributed to W&L's success on that end of the field?
So I'd say a few factors do. First of all, we have a great coaching staff. They get after us every practice, helping us get better. We've been communicating really well on defense. Every game we've been trying to execute our game plan, and our wins, we clearly have done that. In our losses, we could have done that a little better. And finally, the competition that we see in practice. Our offense is very talented, and then our scout offense gives us very good looks against our opponents' plans.
You're part of a 12-player senior class that's had a very big impact on the program. What's it been like to play alongside your classmates over the last 4 years?
So I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to play with. We've been through a lot together, had a very successful freshman season. We're ending with a very successful senior season. We've created friendships and memories that will last a lifetime, and it's been truly a blessing.
The Generals earned the number 2 seed in the ODAC tournament. You'll head to Roanoke College for the Final Four this weekend. What are the keys to winning back-to-back games against tough competition?
So first of all, we just need to prepare this week during practice, and then I think we need to take it one game at a time. So Saturday we're playing Hampton-Sydney. They're a very talented team. We played them pretty close this season. So first of all, we need to take care of them, and then we can start preparing for either Roanoke or Lynchburg.
Will, thanks for joining us. Best of luck down in Salem.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm joined now by Carly Taglienti, senior lacrosse captain from Morristown, New Jersey. Carly, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
W&L clinched the ODAC regular season title with a dramatic 10-9 win at Randolph-Macon last Wednesday. What enabled the Generals to pull out that victory?
Well, we did a lot of preparation going into the game, and we were very confident going into the game, and I think we came out very strong in the first half. We were up with a pretty good lead, and then Second half, I think maybe we got a little bit complacent, started having some uncaused turnovers, but after timeout, we really just came together as a team and pulled out the win.
W&L played a grueling early season non-conference schedule. How did those games prepare you for the contest at Randolph-Macon and for what you might see in the postseason?
Yeah, so the beginning of the season, our schedule was pretty loaded with some top teams in the D3 conference, and we definitely had a tough time with some of them, but I think it really mentally and physically prepared us for the rest of the season and going into playoffs. So I think it's really going to help us know where we have to play at our top potential to beat those teams in the future.
You suffered a major knee injury early in the 2015 season. You've been able to work your way back into the rotation over the second half of this year. Tell us about that process, the rehab and returning to the lacrosse field.
Yeah, so the rehab was definitely challenging, but there was two other girls on the team, Haley Suter and Sarah Holland, going through the same thing I was. So that support system was really helpful, and we all kind of worked at it together at the beginning of the season. And just with the great coaching staff and great training staff with Matt, it's just been a really easy transition. And I personally decided to take my brace off, which I think really helped me feel more comfortable on the field going into the second half of the season.
The Generals will host the conference semifinals and championship this weekend. What does home field advantage mean in the ODAC tournament?
Home field advantage is super important for us. We love playing on Watt Field. We practice there most days, and we're all just very comfortable there. It's also, we have hopefully play back-to-back games on Friday, Saturday, so not having to travel is going to be really helpful for us as a team.
Carly, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. 4 W&L teams will compete for ODAC championships, with 3 of those titles on the line in Lexington. Women's lacrosse takes on Roanoke in an ODAC semifinal on Friday afternoon, with the championship game set for Saturday. Women's tennis will face Emory and Henry in a conference semifinal, while the men's team squares off against Bridgewater. Both championship matches will take place on Sunday. Men's lacrosse travels to Salem, where the second-seeded Generals meet up with third-seeded Hampton-Sydney on Saturday evening. A win would advance W&L to Sunday's title game, also on the Roanoke campus. For the latest scores and schedules, be sure to visit generalsports.com. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.